There's trouble downtown. The Enchantress has taken over the mind of the Black Knight. No good can come from this. The Avengers get the call. Their ally is in danger, and they must put a stop to the Enchantress before she can run amok. The Avengers must assemble!
Did somebody page Coulson?
Agent Coulson, could you come behind the line, please?
Oh, I'd better go suit up.
Well done, my love. Soon we'll take this whole city.
Heads up. Come on, man, snap out of it.
You haven't heard the last of me, Avengers.
Get in!
Are you alright? Yeah, thanks for the help. Hey, Phil, high five. Okay, don't hurt yourself. Hot day, Phil. Nothing a hot cup of cocoa can't fix. Nice work. Diamond Select has released their 69th wave of Marvel Minimates. This wave includes 8 figures that come 2 per box. The figures are Black Knight with Enchantress, Tigra with Falcon, Gregor Shapanka's Blizzard with Phil Coulson's Mandroid, and Donald Gill's Blizzard with another Army Builder Phil Coulson Mandroid. The box design is no different than any other recent release of Marvel Minimates. It is a design that allows you to stack your boxes while the character's picture is showcased on the side, allowing you to know who is in what box. The color theme for this wave is black and yellow. The front of the box features the new Minimates Marvel Now picture on the top left with the words Most Wanted in big bold lettering underneath. There are also logos, warnings, and reminders that these figures have removable parts. The window box displays the figures inside with the corresponding character names and animated Minimate themed pictures at the bottom. The back shows the wave in its entirety and character bios for each of the 2 figures in the box. One thing with these boxes is that if you don't rip them to shreds, you can reuse them. This might be a good idea for you to remember because these little figures come with so many little pieces. Now on to the fun stuff when we get a look at these heroes outside of the box. This wave of Minimate figures are the most wanted figures elected by fans, and this Black Knight figure is the best of them. His black helmet has gold painted detail down the middle, on the sides, and on the fringes around the eyes. His blue cape is painted with a flat blue and gold paint on the clasp in the front. BK has silver paint with illustrated detail on his arms and legs. His symbol is sharply painted in red on his chest, with some nice red and gray illustrated detail on his torso. Black Knight's gloves and boots are painted with a matte black with a subtle red trim. This figure looks like he just leapt off the pages of Avengers 71. You can give him an alternate look by removing his helmet and displaying him as Dane Whitman. The thing that really makes this figure stand out is his sword, the ebony blade. It's rare we get an accessory of note. We usually get a generic gun or webbing, but this ebony blade was created by Stan Lee and given an extensive backstory. Enchanted by Merlin, carved from a meteor, etc. It has made its way around the Marvel Universe, and it's fun to have it in the Minimate multiverse. Enchantress is another long-awaited character the collectors have been pining for in Minimate form. This long-time stalker of Thor has a hairpiece with light blonde hair and a lime green headdress. The illustrated detail on her torso is flawless. The paint in the illustration on her arm is sharp. The skirt piece doesn't have any molding, but the illustrated detail blends perfectly with the rest of her. The green illustration over the black on her legs is great. They really captured the essence of this character. My only hang up with her is her facial expression. Her color choice for her eyes is perfect and really stands out on the character. But what's going on with the illustration? Were they going for a seductive look? She just looks like she's just waking up. Overall, a good looking figure. The accessories include 2 green energy balls. Generic, we've seen them before with figures that have fire-based powers, but it's cool to have them in a different color. I love alternate colors. No alternate looks for Enchantress. I would have thought she would come with a different facial expression, but not this time. Tigra is just about as perfect as Minimates gets. DST really captured this character well. Her hair has nice sculpt with great paint. The illustrated detail on her face is very sharp. DST hit the body illustration out of the park. She has a lot of little details around the waist, and the tail really makes her stand out amongst the other Minimates. Her only hang-up is that she doesn't have any accessories. I guess just getting the character is the best thing we could hope for in this 2-pack. Falcon comes in his classic costume, and the design is amazing. Some might think he is unnecessary in a most wanted wave, but this costume represents the character just as much as Spider-Man's costume represents Spidey. There's a lot of vibrancy throughout the entire outfit and brings all our comic book nostalgia flying back. Falcon also comes with a repainted red wing that is perfectly done. The paint detail around the beak is sharp, and the sculpting adds a lot of depth to the figure. The red wing fits perfectly over Falcon's wrist. The addition of the Gregor Shapanka Blizzard is another heel to add to the ranks of Iron Man rogues. His classic costume has a white and blue color scheme. The illustration on his face captures the insanity of the character. All of the illustration on the figure's body is sharp. His hands and bracers are one part. His helmet is removable, but there is no added hairpiece. He also comes with an ice slide and 2 icicles for poking some eyes out. There is a ton of sculpted detail to the Mandroid. I think this is the most sculpting I've ever seen for a Minimate. From head to toe, the illustrated visor looks very nice. The rest of the upper body is painted in a 2-tone gold. The minigun and regular hand are sculpted perfectly, and the Mandroid also comes with a 3rd hand option, the toaster hand for breakfast time. The thighs and legs have beautiful sculpts and very nice 2-tone paintwork. DST gave us a gem with the release of this figure. The only hang-up is that he can't raise his hands above his shoulders. What are you going to do? Underneath it all is Phil Coulson in a gaudy gold jumpsuit. This costume has a lot of detail as well. There are illustrated shield logos on both shoulders. There's even a little Mandroid Unit Alpha written around his shield logo over his left breast. Such a great detail, and it also allows you to display this figure with a different head so you don't have a bunch of Phil Coulsons running around piloting Mandroids. Phil's head is illustrated wearing sunglasses and comes with one of the best hair pieces released in the Minimates line. My favorite thing about this figure is that he comes with a coffee mug. Just the best. There's a good chance of a blizzard. I don't know about all this blizzard love. I kind of feel he's being pushed on me, but who cares? He is another villain, and I can't get enough. This figure is well done, though. No sculpting detail, and he comes with a lot of reused weapons, but he uses them effectively. He comes with an ice slide, ice blast, and only 1 right ice hand. What? You wanted 2? Well, how is he going to make his ice slide? Did you think of that? The illustrated detail on him is perfect, and overall he is a very well put together figure from reused parts. The quality and articulation on these new figures are some of the best we've seen. The figures share the same sockets and articulation as all the other 2.5-inch Minimates. Falcon has a peg and socket at the top of his head that allows you to remove his hair and swap out hair with other Minimate figures, allowing you to give him a custom look. His head and shoulders have a ball and socket joint. His elbows have a hinge joint that allow you to bend the arm. His wrist is a peg and socket joint that allow you to rotate his hands around 360 degrees. His waist is a peg and socket joint that allow for complete body rotation and removal of the upper body from the lower. His hips have ball and socket joints. Knees are a hinge joint, and his ankles have a peg and socket joint that allow the foot to be rotated around 360 degrees. His feet have a socket that will fit over the peg in the included figure stand that is included with the newer Minimate figures. On some of the recent releases of Minimates, the figures haven't been able to fit onto their stands very well, but all of the figures for Wave 69 have fit nicely. There's a lot more detail compared with some of the other older Marvel Minimates figures. Looking at this new Falcon next to an older Sentry figure, we can see there's a lot more sculpted detail in the accessories they come with. Falcon's wings have a lot more depth than the Sentry's cape, which looks a little flat. There's a lot of illustrated detail on the front of the newer Falcon body. The chest and legs look to have more depth. Looking at the faces of each, Sentry, though good, just doesn't have the personality that the new Falcon has. Falcon's detail looks like he jumped off a comic book page. The movie figure has a ton of sculpting and illustrated detail, but this movie figure is geared towards a bigger, more mainstream market where the comic book based figure is more niche. It is cool to see where the character came from and where he has gone. Fans of the older Avenger comics need to pick this set up. The addition of some of these characters is kick yourself worthy if you pass on them. I hope you're now better informed about your Minimates, and if not, please hit me up in the comments. Also, leave me a comment about what you think of these figures. I mean, buying a set of 8 figures for $35 is way better than paying $160 for 6-inch figures that don't nearly have as much. I'm saying Minimates are better than Marvel Legends if you didn't get the subtlety. Just kidding, Marvel Legends fans. Or am I? Check out my Instagram and remember to subscribe and hit the like button. Thank you for watching, and remember, be kind to yourself.
Well, somebody must take it out.